So, Wendy Fredericks was in fact pregnant with a little embryo known as Fred. You know, Dad suggested abortion. He said, what about birth control? Mom said no. You know, I'm not going to do any of this stuff. I've got a living being in my body, and I'm not going to cut it out. Fred's dad said, you don't have a living being in your body. Fred is not even conscious yet. He's just like a fucking cell split. Like it's nothing. Don't worry about it. You know, Mom said, I'm sorry, but that's what I have to do. I'm going to have a natural birth underwater. Dad said, what the fuck do you mean natural birth underwater? He said, well, I'm going to submerge myself in a hot tub, you know, like one of those big tubs. And I'm going to I'm just going to have my baby over there. You know, the doctor wears like a snorkeling mask. Snorkeling mask! He's going to be wearing a snorkeling mask as he brings your baby into the world. Yes, dear, he's going to wear it, you know, he's going to be under there. And it'll be very natural because, you know, when he's in my body, he's submerged in water. And I think it's only fair, you know, that when he gets out of the body, he's submerged in water. You know, Dad couldn't believe this. And he said, you know, okay, honey, you know, whatever you want, we'll do it. I don't really care, you know, you can give birth to him just as long as you give birth to him. You can do it any way you want. Times rolled past. The days rolled by. The days rolled by. And Mom was getting really swollen around the abdominal area. And she was pregnant. Mama was pregnant with Fred. 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 Mama was pregnant. She didn't know what to do. She put on her shoes and went to the supermarket to get some. Convulsions! I'm having convulsions! I think I'm pregnant! I think I'm having a baby! Get over here real quick! It's a boy! 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 Mrs. Fredericks, I'm pleased to pronounce that you have just given birth to a 6.5-pound Caucasian male! Boy named Fred! Well, I don't like that name. I don't care! Name has to be Fred. He's one of those Fred kind of people, you know? And so little Freddie was born on that day, August 6, 1983. Why 1983? Because he was warping around the galaxy. And we decided to land on the planet Earth in 1983. And so, Freddy did arrive in Mrs. Frederick's ovary glands in 1983. Freddy was small. Should I explain Freddy? Freddy was small. Freddy was white and male and Caucasian, and he had brown hair, and his parents always, used to say, "He's such a cute child." Well, one day, Freddy learned how to walk. And the next day, Freddy learned how to talk. And the next day, Freddy learned to play basketball. Freddy was one of those gifted kind of people. Freddy liked to get into things. He's the kind of baby that would go and get like latex paint from the closet, open it up, pry it open with quarters and stuff, and pour it over his head and say, "Mommy, Mommy, this doesn't feel good." Mom would say, "Oh no, no." Freddy was smart. Freddy was smart, but he did these things anyway. Home from work and say, "Freddy, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. And we'll take the dog for a walk, and we'll just walk the dog around the house. And Freddy liked this, and Freddy liked the trees, and Freddy liked birds, and Freddy liked bees." Then it happened. Freddy broke his arm. Freddy broke his arm! Freddy broke his arm! They had to take him to the hospital. They said, "Mom, my arm hurts real bad!" And the doctors came out about 2 hours later, and they said, "Mrs. Fredericks, your son's arm is gone!" No, Frederick's handicapped. Shit. Fred can't do anything normal now. He's 4 years old and he's got one arm. Fred came out of the hospital ward. He said, "What are you looking at, Mom? Dad? So what? I've got one arm. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. I'm still a human being, aren't I?" And Mom said, "No, you're never gonna be a human being. You've got one arm. You're an amputee or you're a mutant." This hurt Freddy's feelings real bad. 4-year-old Freddy, he got real smart like, and he learned to talk real good like, and he learned to think real good like, and he knew about everything. When he was 5 years old, he knew everything. I am a fly, paper swatting the reeds of love. He became a rock and roll star. That's later. So Freddy went into school, and it was his first grade teacher, Mrs. Fredericks. And it was really funny because his mother had the last say of the game. They would never know who they were talking about. And all the kids, they laughed at him. And he killed them. He didn't him because he was so insanely intelligent. So he went to a juvenile institute for a couple years, and there he wrote all kinds of poetry like, "See the leaves on the trees, they're shriveled and brown because they don't know how to live life, because they never got a chance, because they had their arms amputated when they were 4 years old." Freddie got out of the juvenile home about a year or so, and he went back to school. And he got into surfing music. I don't know. It was just this kind of thing he got into. He got into like blues and soul and surfing music. Not what everybody else wanted to hear, just what he wanted to hear. And they all laughed at him because he had one arm and he listened to surfing music. And at that time, it wasn't cool to listen to surfing music like it is now. So Freddie went through school, he cooperated with society. He did all this work, he did all the shit, he didn't flunk anything. And then, he was going into 8th grade or something. There was this new girl in school. And they always talked because, she seemed kind of smart. And Freddie kind of liked her. And she went out. She said, "Freddie, will you go out with me?" Freddie said, "Yes! Yes! Yes! After 5 years of heartache, I will go out with you." Fred! Well, that night, Freddie said, "Why don't we go to the movies or something? We'll see a movie or something." And she said, "Yeah, sure, that seems nice." So he picked her up. Picked her up that night. Picked her up that night at her house. Hi, Francis. Katrina. Ducky. Telephone operator. What movie were you thinking about? Well, I wanted to go see Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, I heard that was good. It's kind of hard to change gears when you have one arm. She didn't think it was that funny, And she said, "I don't think you're that funny!" Fred said, "I don't care. I don't care if you don't think I'm that funny. Why don't you shut the fuck up?" "I don't think you should treat me that way, Freddie. I mean, I'm just a date." "Just shut the fuck up." At that point, Freddie did something that he shouldn't have done. It would affect him for the rest of his life. He committed a sin. A sin of the worst kind. A sin that Adam and Eve wouldn't think about doing until they had the recompense. Anyway, her mother and her father filed for contempt of court. they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Freddie drove home real fast. He went to his bedroom and he ducked under the covers, 'cause he knew that it would catch up with him sooner or later. And that evening, the police came to Freddie's house, and Freddie's mom said, "Freddie, come on, it's too much. This isn't funny anymore." So, you know as well as I do what happened to Freddie at that point. Freddie went to prison. Freddie was in 8th grade and he went to prison, yes. And he stayed there until he was 35 years old. Freddie got raped in prison. It was really disgusting. I wasn't there, I'm glad. So Freddie came out about 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Let's see. It was 12,003. He got out of prison. And the world was changing around him. And the people there were rearranging. And life didn't seem to be as happy, and his parents were old and decrepit. Anyway, when Freddie got out, he was going through all kinds of cultural shocks, He didn't know one thing from the other thing. He would jump out, he would buy a white suit, he would climb a tree, he would jump off the tree, he would come down, he would go to the supermarket, he would buy a mango, he would eat the mango, he would say, "Look, tomato, it's a fruit, it's a fruit, it's a berry, it's a berry." People watched him on the street, they didn't know what to think of this man. They had their thick polyester bottoms on, and they said, "Who is this man? Who is this man?" And they all had French accents. Everybody in the world had French accents. "He's this man who calls himself Freddie." Well, you know as well as I do that Freddie couldn't take all of this. And so Freddie started to sell. Or actually, Freddie opened up. Freddie opened up. No. He opened up. Suspense. 1, 2, 1. He opened up a bass guitar store, and then he died. It was horrible. And he was dead, and he had this open bass guitar store, and he had all these bass guitars in there, and he didn't know what to do. He was dead. What else can I say? His heart stopped beating, his blood started coagulating. His family had long been gone, out of oblivion, And it was just over. It was all over. There's nothing more to say, I'm sorry. It was interesting. I had to explain this to you because it's Fred lives these things, it's different people live these different lives, different checkerboards of imagination. And nobody really knows what probability, what chance, which anything you choose, it's just pillows and a cosmic force of trilogies. And I don't know how to explain these things, and I just say, "Hey, I'll pick Fred. We didn't even want to record this fucking thing. Smersh made us." No, that's not true. Shut up. I wanted to record this because, I did feel the need to to go down tracks of life, and actually discuss everything.
I personally hated Fred. I thought he was a fucking asshole.
No, Fred lived a good life. Yes, I am sorry. Is this over yet? How long long do we have? So, you know, like, Fred was buried that evening, and they gave him like a $25,000 funeral, and I don't know who paid for it. But, you know, he was in a concrete chamber slab, you know, in those little concrete tomb things. And slowly he rotted away and died, but it couldn't help the earth because it wasn't concrete. It was sheltered in concrete. You know, from Dean Ween and Gene Ween, we'll always remember you, Fred. Always. You'll never die. Bye.